What is Ye's connection to this extraterrestrial UFO religion? From alien encounters and human cloning, Raelism has no shortage of alien information to look into. But don't start assuming good intentions. As we dive deeper, you're going to wonder if calling it a religion is even fitting. If you're interested in interacting with the Knight community, I highly encourage you to join the Discord in the description. If social media is more your speed, I also have Twitter and Instagram linked below. Check it out. This video is sponsored by Factor. Are you ready to simplify your nutrition goals and enjoy fresh meals delivered right to your doorstep? Factor is the ultimate solution for those of us who are too busy to cook but still want to eat well. With their never frozen, dietitian approved meals, you can skip those extra trips to the grocery store and say goodbye to prepping and cleaning up. In just 2 minutes, you can enjoy a delicious, nutritious meal. With Factor, I've cut down on cooking time, giving me more moments to work on bringing you all quality content. I love that they also provide a diverse menu of foods to choose from. This allows me to pick meals that fit my current wants and nutritional needs. So, what are you waiting for? Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code KNIGHT50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Stay healthy with fresh food and let Factor take care of your nutrition needs. Once again, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code KNIGHT50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. On December 2nd of 2022, famous American rapper Ye, formerly known by Kanye West, was the center of a considerable amount of controversy after posting an image of a swastika inside the Star of David on Twitter. The symbol confused many with the juxtaposition of a symbol associated with Nazis and anti-Semitism combined with a symbol of Judaism and the caption, "Love everyone." The backlash led to Ye's brand of shoes, Yeezy, being dropped by many major brands, including Adidas, Gap, and Foot Locker. Due to the post, his account was banned for violating Twitter's terms of use. The controversial symbol tweeted by Ye is actually the symbol of the Raelian movement. It's unclear whether Ye knew that when making his post, or if he is further associated with the movement in any way. Raelism is a new religious movement that originated in 1974 after its founder, Claude Vorilhon, reported having an extraterrestrial experience. Claude claimed to have made contact with the Elohims, an alien species that created human beings through genetic engineering. The Raelian movement's twofold mission is stated as 1. Spreading the message of Elohim, and 2. Building an embassy to Elohims on Earth. Claude Vorilhon was born in 1946 in Vichy, France. Everything beyond this fact is difficult to verify, given that most of Claude's life is self-reported, and as his life progresses, his personal accounts become increasingly more fantastical. There are conflicting sources about his childhood, but most seem to agree that his parents weren't regular figures in his life. When he was 15, with his guitar slung over his shoulder, Claude left home to pursue a career in music. With a few euros in his pocket, he hitchhiked to Paris where he busked on the streets and played in cafes for the next few years. In time, he went on to release 6 singles under the name Claude Cellar. One of his songs was even a minor pop hit in France. Though he would eventually choose to leave the music industry, Claude continued to live a varied and unusual life. In 1971, chasing his childhood love of cars, he created Autopop, a sports car magazine. At Autopop, Claude worked as a journalist reviewing automobiles. Through this, he would gain access to the world of race car driving, testing cars to review in his magazine. It was around this time that he married Mary Paul Christini, a nurse, and fathered 2 children together. According to Claude's book, The Book That Tells the Truth, well damn, okay, pretty bold, guess we can't try to counterclaim any of this stuff, it's just fact. He claims that on December 13th of 1973, he was visiting his home village with his wife Mary on vacation. While visiting, Claude went on a hike in the mountainous Auvergne region of France to climb on an extinct volcano. In a secluded area within the extinct volcanic crater, Claude claimed to see a strange flying craft gently descend from the sky, and an extraterrestrial being stepped out. The alien species called themselves the Elohim, and they took credit for creating the human race 25,000 years ago, through genetic engineering. Claude said the aliens spoke to him in French and claimed the sole purpose of their meet was to meet him. Following this, he describes a surreal tale of flying in a spacecraft to an alien planet, meeting Jesus, Moses, and Buddha, and being bathed by female robots. Hey, whatever that guy's on, give me some of that too, alright? The Elohim would leave him back on Earth with two things: a mission to create an alien embassy and a new name, Rael. All of this reportedly occurred in one afternoon, and he was home in time for dinner. From his wife Mary's perspective, her husband left on a hike and came back as Rael. Rael, meaning who brings the light of the Elohim, was appointed as an ambassador to the Elohim on Earth. The Elohim, advanced humanoid scientists, had created humans 25,000 years ago through DNA manipulation. Over 40 prophets were sent by the alien species to spread their word across Earth, such as Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and Buddha. But their message had become warped and distorted. Now, humanity has entered the age of apocalypse after dropping the first nuclear bomb on Hiroshima, Japan in 1945. Mankind has to make a choice between two paths: learn to live together peacefully, or completely destroy themselves in a nuclear war. Rael is the last prophet sent to Earth by the Elohim. Prophets are created by one Aloha having intercourse with a human woman to conceive the prophet. You would have thought his mom would mention that at some point? Maybe? Rael is now tasked with spreading the Elohim's teachings and building an embassy to them in time for their return to Earth in 2035.
Beginning, just somebody who's thinking and teaching is right.
Okay, let's put a quick pause real quick. Before we go any further, let me take a moment to remind you of your incredible strength and resilience. Life may throw challenges your way, but you are capable of confronting and conquering them all. Remember, you are capable of handling whatever comes your way, and every obstacle that you overcome will only make you stronger. Make sure to take care of yourself. Jumping back in though, the Raelian movement hosts a variety of lewd and eye-catching projects and ventures to spread awareness of their beliefs and to recruit new members. One of these is image and videos they spread across social media, including YouTube. Yes, they have a thing on YouTube here. This graphic proposed the group being intelligent design for atheists. This billboard states, "God is a myth," and this advertisement on Facebook claims all life on Earth was created by aliens. As stated before, they have a YouTube channel dedicated to spreading their message through their own self-produced video content. Some of their videos give off an impending sense of urgency you would find in an end is near conspiracy video. Most of the videos and graphics come across as conspiratorial, but vague, making huge, broad claims with very minimal explanations. Raelians reject the idea of a soul being tied to a mortal body, and instead believe eternal life is achievable through science. In 1997, Clitoraid, a human cloning organization, was founded by the Raelian movement. At the time, cloning was a hot topic after Dolly, the cloned sheep, was born. 5 years later, Clitoraid would claim they had successfully cloned the first human ever, a baby girl named Eve.
I'm very, very pleased to announce that the first baby clone is born. She's fine. We call her Eve.
The claim received heavy criticism, and Clitoraid refused to verify their scientific breakthrough by allowing independent scientists to examine baby Eve. Regardless, they still advertise and sell cloning services to the public. To date, no cloned babies have ever really been confirmed. When compared to many other organized religious and spiritual groups, the Raelians seem to hold some relatively progressive social values in regards to sex and gender. The Raelians believe gender is an artificial construct and entirely fluid. Rael himself sports flowy gowns with long hair and is described as being feminine and gentle by those around him. Rael also describes the Elohim as 10% of masculinity and 90% of femininity. Raelism is in some ways sexually permissive, believing that humanity was created to feel sexual desire as a sort of remedy for our violent impulses. Frequent seminars are held where stretching one's libido is practiced as an intellectual exercise, based on their belief that sexual pleasure creates new neuron pathways in the brain. Attendees of these seminars are encouraged to let go of their sexual preferences and boundaries such as sexual orientation and monogamy. With that, Raelism encourages the exploration of sexuality among all members of all genders, though Rael himself has only engaged in heterosexual relationships. Rael, I think it's time to practice what you preach, man. Come on, get out there, live a little. New religious movements are often associated with extreme forms of control and manipulation, especially in regard to sexual and reproductive rights, making them an especially dangerous space for women. When it comes to reproductive rights and health, the Raelians do outright state their support for the use of birth control, contraceptives, abortion, and sexual education in schools. The Raelians involve themselves in a variety of other causes centered around women's rights. They've held demonstrations all over the world for equal topless rights in an effort to desexualize women's bodies. In 2003, for their Joy of Being Woman demonstration, women in the movement danced naked in the streets of Paris to protest gender-based clothing laws. In 2014, they sponsored Go Topless Day in New York City. That year, the Raelian movement grew to 90,000 self-reported members. Despite their outward sex-positive values and belief in equal gender rights, the movement holds some of its members to a standard much more similar to that of a cult. The Order of Rael's Angels is an elite group of Raelian women selected to serve as hostesses for the Elohim when they arrive at their embassy on Earth. According to Rael's interaction with the Elohim in the summer of 1998, they require a group of beautiful human women waiting for them to come to Earth so that they can mate with them to create the future human-alien hybrid race. Being a member of the Order of Rael's Angels is considered the highest status a Raelian woman can reach within the movement. When the Elohim come to Earth, the Order of Rael's Angels will be the only ones permitted into the embassy to interact and negotiate with the aliens. To become a member of this group, or an angel as they are known, you must first submit an application with an attached headshot. According to an Elohim message, they prefer women who have no physical flaws, which they claim are due to a damaged genetic code. Angels wear feathered necklaces around their necks and train to develop sexual and charismatic skills they will use to please their future extraterrestrial partner. There are two orders of angels: the White Angels and the Pink Angels. The White Angels consist of over 100 women who act as missionaries for their movement, and the welcoming party for when the Elohim arrive. In addition to these tasks, part of their duties include making Rael comfortable. What do you mean by that? The Pink Angels, a much smaller and exclusive group, follow strict diets and maintain their genetic purity and must remain celibate, having no sexual relationships with other humans. The rule, however, does permit them to have sex with Rael, because he is half Elohim. So highly held is a woman's beauty and ability to give sexual pleasure to Rael that he made porn star Grace Quark an honorary angel. Every year, more than 3 million girls are victims of genital mutilation, a procedure that involves the partial or entire removal of external genitalia. It is often done with a dull blade, no anesthesia, and without the presence of a medical professional. The purpose of female genital mutilation, or FGM, is non-medical. Its objective lies in controlling a woman's sexuality by reducing her ability to experience sexual desire and pleasure. Executioners of FGM hold the belief that the procedure ensures a woman's virginity before marriage, her fidelity during marriage, and the sexual pleasure of her husband. On March 7th of 2014, the first ever FGM reversal hospital was set to open in Burkina Faso, a small country in West Africa. The hospital, also called the Pleasure Hospital, was a project by Clitoraid, a non-profit organization founded by Rael to help women achieve pleasure.
To help
African women to get their clitoris back? No, zero. Only one, Clitoraid.
Clitoraid led a variety of unconventional campaigns to raise funds and awareness for the pleasure hospital, including Adopt a Clitoris, where supporters could donate money to theoretically adopt an African woman's clitoris to help fund her FGM surgery. Another notorious campaign to raise money for Clitoraid was the Clit Box. I can't... Sorry. The campaign encouraged people to keep a tissue box by their bedside and add $1 to the box every time they slayed the dragons and released the peasants. If you catch my drift. Clitoraid received criticism for their campaigns being obscene and culturally unaware, especially for the region that they aimed to help. Their hospital in Burkina Faso never actually opened its doors to the public, despite collecting donations. Currently, there is no evidence to support the safety and success of full FGM reversal. Even the most promising of studies show a 1 out of 3 success rate. Additionally, the government of Burkina Faso already pays for more medically substantiated procedures to help victims of FGM. As of this video, the Raelian movement reports of over 90,000 members, but there is no outside source that has been able to confirm these self-reported numbers. Some interesting and notable people are associated with the movement. Brigitte Bosselier, a French chemist, has been a member since 1992. She studied chemistry in France and then the United States, earning 2 PhDs in chemistry. She went on to work as a researcher chemist and sales manager at Air Liquide, an industrial gases supplier. In 1997, she was announced as the scientific director of Clonaid, which subsequently led to the loss of her job at Air Liquide, and her shifting her career to working on cloning full-time. Imagine saying that you're just a full-time cloner. Interesting job. Brigitte is a highly active and influential member of the Raelian movement, and is supposed to succeed Rael as the group's leader upon his death. Despite naming a woman member to such a high level of scientific authority within the movement, Rael is quoted as saying this in regards to his women followers. "All of our women try to do their best, even if they are not beautiful. Like Brigitte here, she does her best to look beautiful, but she is not so young anymore. But she does her best." Imagine, I literally just saying to her, yeah, you're trying your best. I'll give you that. Pat on the back, gold star. Like, bro, Jesus. Marcy Lee Bowers is an American gynecologist and surgeon who specializes in gender confirmation surgeries, such as sexual reassignment surgeries. She is seen as an international expert on clitoral restoration for victims of FGM with over 25 years of experience in the field. She has made many media appearances, including on Oprah and the New York Times. In 2012's World Pride Power List, she was named as one of the 100 most influential LGBT people of the year. She is one of the first doctors who volunteered for Clonaid to work at the Pleasure Hospital. The Raelians have created a very provocative symbol for themselves, the eye-catching part being the prominent swastika. Their symbol is part of their project to rehabilitate the image of the swastika. The word swastika comes from the Sanskrit svastika, which means good fortune or well-being. The symbol has existed for over 7,000 years, predating Judaism. To this day, it is still a sacred symbol in Hinduism, Buddhism, and is commonly seen throughout Asia, such as in India and Indonesia. In the 1800s, it gained new interest in Europe due to an increased interest in spiritualism and Eastern culture. It was believed by some European scholars to be the same symbol found at the site of Troy and used by ancient Aryans. This led many to believe that it has a higher meaning or significance to Europeans. It maintained its meaning of good luck, but became associated with Aryan heritage and was adopted as the symbol of the Nazi Party in the 1920s. Since World War II, the global perception of the swastika, especially in the Western world, has been forever tarnished. This is where the Raelians want to make a difference. They, like many Europeans in the 1800s, believe the symbol's history isn't localized to Asia, but is a symbol found in every region of the ancient world. Expanding on that reasoning, they believe the symbol to originate from the Elohim. The symbol the Raelians use is very similar to the symbol used in Hinduism. The group celebrates World Swastika Rehabilitation Day to raise awareness about the symbol, and they host the website proswastika.org. The Raelian movement is a quirky and strange new religious group who has their hands in many projects. Though on the surface they might not seem to have the same dangerous characters as a cult, such as isolating and controlling their members, they still seem to achieve the same effects despite their silly and disarming appearance. Though members aren't denied relationships with those who aren't members, the group's controversial symbol, antagonistic statements against religion, and far-out beliefs serve to isolate their members from mainstream society. Publicly, they might support gender rights while still putting women in positions of sexual servitude and upholding chastity, which is strictly only for women members and not male members. They've collected donations for a variety of projects with little evidence to show these funds have supported anyone other than Rael. Rael's high and mighty view of himself, comparing him to the likes of Jesus and Buddha, and surrounding himself with beautiful women tasked with caring for his needs, clearly places him as just another charismatic leader as one of many new cults. Before we hop into the end segment, I would like to have the patron scroll. You don't have to do this, but it honestly means so much to me. Thank you for supporting my weird little videos on the internet. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the video, why not like and subscribe? It definitely helps me out. If you didn't though, why not dislike and let me know what I can improve on for next time. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you on the next one.